Hi, my name is Chuck Patton. I own Bird Rock Coffee Roasters. And today we're going to take you guys through the act of direct trade coffee. We have a lot of customers that are always asking us what is direct trade, and there seems to be a lot of confusion in the general public as far as what is direct trade, what exactly is it. It's not a certification like Fair Trade or Organic Certified or Rainforest Alliance. Direct trade is about relationships, and proper direct trade relationships are sustainable relationships. What we're trying to do is connect with farmers all over the world, farmers that are willing to work with us to produce high quality coffee, farmers that are willing to do lot separation and experiments to produce better and better coffee each year. And in return, we're trying to pay them a lot of money for their coffee, and then offering a great and exclusive lot here in San Diego. We've met some of our direct trade partners through the Cup of Excellence, which is a national competitions that take place in several countries that farmers participate in. Sometimes we've worked directly with exporters who are already working with groups of farmers at origin, and they've introduced us to specific farmers that we've started working with. In the case of Guatemala, the person you're going to meet today on video is Gabriela, and she actually used to work for the specialty coffee industry in Guatemala, and now she's a private contractor, and she actually works to connect roasters with farmers that are interested in producing high quality specialty coffee.
Kind of like started in coffee.
Well, wait, who are you?
Okay, my name is Gabriela Cordon.
Okay.
And I've been in the coffee business around 13 years now. Many buyers knew me from Ana Cafe, and many growers knew me for the job I did at Ana Cafe. And so basically they were asking me, I need to sell my coffee to buyers, and buyers were asking me, I need to have like contact with growers in the country. So I kind of like ended up being like a link for them. And most of the times growers would not know exactly what this niche market was. So I would help them understand what is it that they're interested in and what type of coffee.
I mean, what keeps you in coffee? What is interesting for you now at this stage in your coffee career?
It's like a virus, you know. You cannot let it go out from your veins. It just stays there, you know, and it's something that you don't want to let go. So, and I think the reason it's because it's so diverse, you know, like you can start just learning like the production, but then you have to taste it, because then you need to know what's different about this. And if you taste it, you understand that it could be the roasting, it could be the dosage that you use, it could be the water, the temperature, the brewing method so you end up like saying, there's a whole lot of things I don't understand yet, and then so you start learning again and again. So I think that's what makes it so exciting and so unique, because you can keep on learning and learning and learning and finding so many other different aspects of coffee that you don't completely know. So I think that's what, like, the challenge, you know, that you keep on learning every time.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask us, you know, how we meet these farmers, and they have a kind of a perception that we're like Indiana Jones and going into the jungles and, you know, going past old tombs looking for this one indigenous farmer who's growing this, you know, one bush, and we're going to buy all the coffee off that one shrub. But actually, it's all about contacts and relationships.
And then after your father passed away last year, you took over, and this is your first, really, this is your first full year of being...
This is my first harvest.
Yeah, it's your first harvest.
I haven't been a full year, but my first harvest, and yeah, I've been here as a child and helping my father once every year, maybe in the past 10 years, but not working as responsible of anything, no. And yeah, this is my first harvest and my first year, and
great.
It's been many years.
Great,
now. Yeah.
Great, fantastic.
We're gonna see later how they wash the coffee, because right here in those red machines they take off the pulp. After that they ferment it for a day in that white where the lather is, and then they're gonna wash it here. Hopefully, I think we're gonna see a washing process right now.
Basically, the goal of separating is to get a lot that's uniform in color, size, and density. And so all that separation starts here at the farm level when the coffee's being processed. Fernando's pointing out here is how the underripe cherries are going to one section, one piece of equipment, and the perfectly ripe cherries are going to a different part or a different set of equipment.
Right.
Of the coffee. All the skin is taken off with this big screw, and it goes over there.
And then what do you do with that?
We use it as organic
fertilizer.
Fertilizer, yeah.
Right.
The fermentation process is an important one. As you see here, he has 3 or 4 tanks, and that'll the peak season, all these tanks will be used in it, and basically one day's fermentation will then be washed the next day, and the following day's cherries will go in and ferment. The fermentation process basically eats away the mucilage and the sugary substance that's surrounding the parchment of the coffee. Over fermentation can lead to off flavors, under fermentation can lead to off flavors, so it's very important that the farmers and those working with the fermentation tanks know exactly when to start washing the coffee, because if they miss that window of opportunity, the coffee won't taste that good.
So here we have coffee that's gone through fermentation, and now we're washing.
So if you can feel it, you're gonna feel a little bit.
Yeah, a little slimy.
A little bit, but not as much as yesterday.
Right.
Yeah. Because it has been fermented. So now they're gonna wash it. This is if you can see in the pipe, this is the first time they use fresh water.
Gotcha.
Because all the process you use recycled water.
Gotcha.
This is the only place you use fresh water, so you clean it very good. And in this process, you can see some beans that are floating. Those are going to be the second.
Gotcha.
And the ones that are in the bottom, those are going to be the ones to go to San Diego.
So this is basically green beans that are covered in a thin shell, and this isn't really well sorted here. This is the seconds, but you can see that there's just a thin shell. And after the coffee's been dried to about 12% humidity, they package it up and they're going to put it in this warehouse where they're going to let the coffee rest for a little bit. And here we have the parchment coffee. So Fernando, is this all from this year's harvest, or have you already delivered?
Yeah, no, we already delivered some to Cervex.
Okay.
Because we don't want to have everything here.
Right.
And it was already good in temperature, in humidity, and everything. So we dispatched it. We made one delivery. For this year. Yeah.
So how many bags do you think you're going to have this year?
500 green.
So this is Genaro, and Genaro is one of the owners of Cervex, and Cervex is the exporter. So after Fernando's done with the coffee, it comes over here in parchment, and then you want to talk a little bit about what you do and where we are now.
Okay, well basically we have 2 things here, the exporter and the dry mill.
Okay.
They are both owned by us but work separate, so that we can not only export, but we can also work other coffees for other exporters. You can see here, this is our cupping lab. It's probably one of the most important parts of it. Every coffee that comes in to the warehouse is cupped, sampled, cupped, and you get the yields, what defects it has, so that when it goes into the big machinery, the guys here pass on the info to the operators, and the operators already know beforehand what to look for in the coffees. Say it has insect bites, or too much ferment, or yellowish coffees, and all of that. Well, basically that's it. We clean up the coffee, get it green, bag it, and export.
Great. And here we have a massive room of coffee in parchment. So all this coffee here hasn't been processed yet. That parchment shell hasn't been removed. So they got a lot of work to do, obviously, after this coffee's allowed to rest. This is a massive warehouse, as you can see here, as part of a soccer field. Off a season, they can play soccer in this room. So about how long are you going to let the coffee rest before process it?
It's probably 1 or 2 months max.
1 or 2 months max,
Yeah.
and then you'll...
and then it's processed, and then always it depends on the client outside.
Mm-hmm.
We process it until we get the order, because in parchment you get a more time for the coffee. It
Right.
doesn't get old or anything.
Right.
And if you process it, it starts decaying faster.
So you want to process it
So
as soon
as soon
export.
as we get the order, it's 1 week
Okay.
from working it to export.
Yeah, because you don't want to process it too early,
don't
otherwise the
wanna
coffee
process-
starts getting stale.
Exactly.
Yeah. Great. So how many bags are in this room?
Around 50,000.
50,000
to
bags.
60. Yeah. 50 to 60,000.
And this is pretty full, because your office is up there, right? I remember.
This is up there.
Yeah, I remember looking. You can look down from there and see the whole soccer
Well,
field. So
here it's maybe 80%.
80% full.
All the way
Yeah.
up there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how high up we can get. So you see here, we still can get higher. So it's probably 80-85% full.
what's with the Purina here? This is a.
They reuse the bag.
I know.
The farmers send it to us like
Yeah,
that.
I know. So this is all the lot numbers and the
Yeah.
traceability, so we can trace it. You wanna
Exactly.
say-
So here you can see what came in on this side,
Mm-hmm.
and then this was full, but now we have gone and got some coffees out,
Got it.
and then 2 more in. So total right here in this little lot is 341.
Great. And this is all from one farm. This-
It's 2.
2 farms.
Well, probably no, 1 farm, but 2 different lots.
2 different
from the
lots.
same.
Got it. Got it.
This is from the farm.
As I mentioned earlier, the act of separation is a pretty big component of finding specialty coffee. And really, if we break it down to the core level, what the mill is really doing after they remove the parchment from the green bean is separation, and again and again and again, and separating by size and density and weight and color. And these machines here are doing that. One machine is separating by size, another machine is separating by weight. And then this last machine that we're looking at in the special room is actually using infrared lights to look at the green beans to, again, further separate out defects. And so the end result after it goes through this final machine is a lot that is completely uniform in color and size and density, as I was saying earlier. Once we get to that stage, then the coffee is actually packaged in burlap sacks that we're familiar seeing. Or it can be vacuum sealed at that point, and then from there it's ready to ship out.
After we source the coffee, dealing with harvesting, farmers, the mills, then it becomes an importing issue, and that we have strong freight forwarders that we deal with and customs brokers, and once we create a contract with the mills and farmers, that coffee will be shipped to us. Once it arrives in the States, then it's kind of up to customs. A lot of different things can happen, whether it be agriculture exams, FDA exams, contraband exams. So we deal with all that. We bring that coffee in.
And then how do you, I mean, everybody along this chain, I think people are under the understanding when they hear direct trade, as far as from the roaster's perspective, that we're just going down with a suitcase of money and handing it to the farmer and that's it. But actually, in order for this whole process to work, the roasters need to pay people along that chain to get the coffee in. And a lot of times, or most often than not, we don't have the money up front to pay for all the coffee at first. So how does that work? How do you help the roasters on that side?
As an importer, that's part of our job too, is to provide financing for the roasters. So part of the contracts is us paying the farmers up front while that coffee ships, and then over a few month period of time, shipping it to the roasters and billing them monthly and charging them. They get charged finance charges and warehousing charges for what we do as an importer.
Mm-hmm. Great. And then you also sell, so you're not just importing coffee for roasters who've found coffee that they want to bring in, but you're also selling to other roasters all over America and Canada and Taiwan.
Correct. Yeah, mostly we're mostly in the United States. We do a little bit out of the United States. But yes, we, for example, a container of coffee from Central America would have 280 bags on it. Let's say some of our roasters found 150 bags. So that leaves me with 130 bags of coffee I need to find, fill that container to make it worthwhile to ship back to the States, and then I'll sell that coffee spot, which means from my warehouse out to roasters, as they call in the Northern. So that's that process.
Great. And then when you grow a beard like that, is that a stylistic choice, or is it just a matter of you saying, fuck it, I don't care anymore?
A little bit of both.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope we maybe demystified on some level the act of direct trade. One thing we hope you take home from this is that direct trade requires a lot more people than just the roaster and the farmer. While the farmer is obviously the most important link of the chain, we really need strong partnerships from origin all the way here to San Diego in order for us to present you with fantastic coffee. So thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.